Jam with Sam. Jam with Sam.
Amit, welcome to Jam with Sam.
Thank you, Sam. Little short for me.
A bit short for you. And I can bump it up, but it'll be a bit uncomfortable.
That's okay.
So this is just like a bar stool. You can't sit for too long on it.
I know.
You know, your back starts aching. So that's very good for my guests. So they have 20 minutes each, you know. And then after
Fantastic.
beat duk raha hai yaar, chal bahut ho gaya yaar. So Amit, tell us something about, most people have not heard of you. You know that?
That's the best part about
That's
my
the best
life.
part about your life. Great.
I don't get disturbed.
I know. Already, you're married and already disturbed.
You can't get more disturbed than that.
Okay. So Amit, tell us something about the business you run.
Okay, so I'll basically just start with a very small introduction, which is what I was giving to a few people in the corridor when we were just
Yeah, I
chatting
saw
up
that
with
tech,
Prashant
tech session happening.
Prashant, and we were just chatting up. So it was not tech session; it was more of cyber law session that was happening. So I'm a struggling entrepreneur for the last 15 years, and I heard this somewhere, and I read this actually, that if you're a very good entrepreneur, you succeed in about 5 years. You're an average entrepreneur, you succeed in 10. And if you're a very bad entrepreneur, you succeed in 15. Right? So I'm in my 15th year of entrepreneurship, so I hope to succeed this year. I run a series of businesses, and I primarily build websites. So before you look at me with a very tabooed eye, oh, website wala. The kind of websites I build are really something that you would not even relate to being a website. For example, a website that we built for a corporate called as the Aditya Birla Financial Services Group costed them over a period of 24 months something like 5.5 crores of rupees.
Wow.
Right? And these are the websites which basically become the cornerstone of an enterprise strategy, where on an average year, so 2008 was a very, very bad turning point year for most of us in the BFSI space. In 2009-10 period, I raised close to about 1,000 crores in assets under management for 6 mutual funds put together.
Wow.
We've built about 7 mutual fund websites. I've built about 6 insurance company websites, web platforms, so to say. I don't know how many banks, how many FMCG companies and brands. I would have totally built and developed and managed more than about 1,000 odd corporate websites. At one point in time in the year 2009-10, I was literally managing the web platform for the top 8 business houses minus Reliance. Right? That's what I do. I'm very, very, very low-key. I run a team of about 200 people, 100 in my principal company, and then the rest of the 100 people divided between 17 different companies that I've invested in. I'm an angel investor where I've put in a lot of money in various businesses, various initiatives, which basically focuses on taking the cause of digital marketing ahead. Okay. So, while we were just listening to all the good stuff that is happening around digital and why we should not go online and why we should, make sure that our children are not online and so on and so forth. But, don't kill my business. We make money out of that, right? What we've done is that we've taken up multiple initiatives. One of the initiatives is an initiative called DMTI, Digital Marketing Training Institute, where what we've done is that we've basically created the largest consortium of industry academia partnership, where we've partnered with the likes of IIM Bangalore, we've partnered with the likes of MICA, we've partnered with the likes of KJ Somaya in Mumbai, okay. Right? Where we've taken up the onus or the responsibility of training the youth, to be ace or savvy digital marketers. So we're currently in an industry which is about 3,500 odd crores in a 32,000 odd market, 32,000 crores odd worth of a market. And there are about 45,000 people who are employed, roughly, give or take a few, in the digital marketing space, right? 32,000 wow. crores, and there are about 45,000 people employed in this market as on
date. All across India?
All across India,
okay.
Right? I've been a digital marketer for 15 years, and that's all that I've done. So just to give you a very quick backdrop, I am a first-generation entrepreneur. My father was a government servant. I come from a joint family. My father threw a fit when he came to know that I had landed up an Accenture job or Arthur Anderson in those days, 65,000 rupees princely fee to be paid to a management graduate per month, and I never showed up for the job. And so he thought that on the 1st of June, I was actually going to a job which was going to give me that kind of a paycheck. I went to office, sure, but the only difference was that I had started my own startup. And this is the period of 1997 when very few people actually took the plunge into becoming entrepreneurs. So, and I became one. And I've never looked back. I did not know when I started off what I'm going to do in life. So the only thing I knew is that I'm going to start something on my own and I'm going to do something on my own. And as luck would have it, I am where I am. One of the biggest challenges that I've seen in the last 15 years is that we've got tons and tons and tons of people, entering this fray. I've met a few guys over here, the gentleman from Observatory is doing some fantastic work. A lot of young guys coming in, but unfortunately, the biggest challenge that we see is businesses, companies grapple with this changing landscape. Yeah. Right? Now, what is happening is that today's date and age, some very simple numbers. I can rattle you with numbers. His event will, get to a closure by then, but there were about 2,000 odd devices that were connected online in the year 1984, right? These were all military devices. Can you take a guess? Just hazard a guess, right? How many devices do you think will be connected in the year 2020? Hazard a guess.
2 billion?
1 trillion.
So we're just a short of a little trillion. So there are 3 estimates. One estimate says that there will be 50 billion devices, which is an estimate from Cisco. An estimate from IBM says that by the year 2020, there will be 250 billion devices connected to one another, right? And if you were to do a very simple mathematics, in the year 2020, the population of this Earth, our Earth, is going to be about 7.5 billion people, right? So 50 billion on the most conservative side, you would have 8 connected devices every individual,
yeah,
right? The way you look at marketing, the way you look at communication, the way you look at engagement is going to undergo a complete tectonic shift in terms of the way you are approaching things, right? Today, if you believe that print and PR and television are the way to go, wait for another 5 years, right? You will see a complete radical shift in the way you would approach advertising and marketing itself.
Okay.
And what that does is that there is a huge dearth of people who will actually come in and get employed in this space to run that business.
Okay.
To give you a perspective, if we were to reach the global average, so today we are at about 8% of the overall advertising pie, right, or marketing pie in this country. In a period of 5 years, if we were to keep up with the law of averages, we should be approximately a 10,000 crore market, right, in terms of digital advertising alone. In about 3 years' time, we should be about 3 times from where we are, so which is roughly about 2,200 to 6,600, 6,500 odd crores by 2016. On a very simple assumption, if there are 45,000 people employed in this business today at 2,200 odd crores, you would need 1.5 lakh people entering this business.
Wow.
Right? 150,000 people is no joke. So we've taken up the responsibility of actually getting together some of the biggest names, biggest brands of people in this country and people who we've always been competitors, right? So there are 3 of the people who I have on my board of advisors are people who've actually been competing against one another for the last 15 years for business, right? But we've all come together to just take up one initiative. That initiative is to grow the next breed of digital marketers in this country. Primary reason, and which is basically something that has been taken up by us as a very, very big insult. There is a council called the Adobe and the Chief Marketing Officers Council, the CMO Council worldwide. They and Adobe have come up with a survey which rates the quality of digital professionals in Asia Pacific, Asia more specifically, to be the worst, right? And it is something that we've taken offense to. So we've come up with a mission to actually take this battle back.
Okay.
And so there is a bunch of about 100 odd mentors who we have. We've partnered with these various institutions. And we are ensuring that the next breed of digital professionals that comes into the country will be world class.
So you basically feel that digital marketing is just, chalo, let's start digital marketing, let's create a face on Facebook, let's do this. And there's no strategy and there's no, the biggest thing is ROI on digital marketing. So person doesn't see that ROI. He thinks that doing social media is free.
Free.
Well, actually,
So true.
it costs money.
So let me give you a very simple perspective, right? Most of us actually are trying to speak about the wrong end of the spectrum when it comes to digital media, social media. We usually believe that people conversing and stuff are only between friends, right? I'll give you a very simple example. This happened something about 4.5 years ago, 5 years ago. There was this gentleman who basically had bought a product from a company, a hardware company called Dell, right? And the product was faulty. The product had an issue. And because of that, this gentleman complained back to Dell that, I've bought a product from you and this does not work well.
Okay.
So you need to exchange this for me. Dell being Dell at that point in time, arrogant, and American companies are usually very, very arrogant and arrogance personified. They said, okay, to hell with you. The product is absolutely in spick and span condition. I'm not going to exchange this. So whatever is the condition, live with it. You bought it and once sold cannot be exchanged. So this gentleman at that point in time was a digital marketer, right? And all he did was he set up a blog, right? And that blog was called dellhell.com, right? And all that he did is that all his conversations with Dell along with the blog, he put it up. Guess what happened? So what happened was that they could have actually gotten away with just replacing one piece. At the end of it, they had to call back the entire shipment, which at that point in time was roughly about 35,000 units, and all 35,000 had to be exchanged. Right? That is digital media. Let me give you more examples. There is a business which is called Ryanair. Right? Heard of this? So Ryanair flies in the US. There was a singer, I keep forgetting the name of this gentleman. It's a very famous case study. Harris, if I'm not mistaken, was his second name. And Harris put in the guitar into check-in, right? And he put the guitar into Ryanair, putting up a sticker called Fragile, right? And then Harris and his friends, who were sitting inside the aircraft, could see the cargo executives actually taking a fragile guitar and throwing it into the storage bay. Now, this guitar was roughly about $3,500 US. And this is as recent as 2 years ago, right? 2 or 3 years ago. And so truly, when they landed in New York and the guitar case came out, it was broken. Harris filed a complaint with Ryanair saying, you've broken my product, get me a replacement. Ryanair being Ryanair, again the same pompous arrogance, they said, nothing doing. It's not our fault. You should have not put it into the check-in. You should have carried it in your hand if it was that fragile. So this gentleman was a singer.
He made a song.
He did the best thing that he could do. He composed a song. He composed a song and he put that onto YouTube. Guess what happened the next day? Ryanair stock dipped and lost its shareholders something about $350 million US in 10 minutes of the stock market opening. Right? Domino's, another example, right? 2 executives working and making pizzas, baking pizzas, decided to have fun. So they started a live streaming feed, putting it onto YouTube, and started singing and making merry and abusing the guys who were coming in and placing orders with them on the phone. Suddenly, till then it was fine, it was humor. One of them started digging his nose, right? And he took the mucus out and he put it into the pizza, packed the pizza and sent it off for delivery. Guess what happened next? 5 days, Domino's in the US was shut. 5 days for somebody who delivers to home, right? Now this is what digital media is. Do you think it is big only in the US? Are these only stories of the US? I can cite a lot of companies that I work with. One of our mandates is to manage Prime Minister Mr. Najib Razak's online reputation. I've got a team of people sitting out of Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia only managing his reputation online. I can cite horror stories, right? And same with brands over here, same with companies over here, 2 stock exchanges fighting, 2 corporates fighting. Where do you think the battle is happening?
All in digital.
It's all happening on the digital platform. we're all actually trying to believe, right, in our own perspectives that when you go to digital, putting up a website is all about it. When we say that we're putting something on social media is all about it, right? But that's not about it. That's just one half of the battle. It's like starting up your shop. Just because you've put up a beautiful shop, right, and you've done great interiors, you're not going to get customers. You better have a good product. You better have some valuable merchandise that a customer can buy. And if you can give a value proposition that somebody's going to buy, only then can marketing work. Great marketing cannot sell bad products.
Absolutely.
You need to have good products, you need to have good marketing to sell a product, right?
So Amit, coming to this outsource model, a lot of the agencies, like I know Vodafone, and I know this as far as I know, in Airtel. Airtel has got their own team inside, a Twitter
Yes.
team who has got absolutely a lot of power,
Yes.
which they've got access directly to CRM and they can change whatever is.
Yes.
I'll give you an example. I tweet to Airtel, Airtel follows me back, and I had some issue over there. Within 2 hours, the problem was resolved.
Yes.
Even after going to a gallery 2 times, now I've stopped going to a gallery, I just tweet.
Just tweet.
And in an hour, they come back to me over there.
Yeah.
Now, the same thing with Vodafone. I think Vodafone is being outsourced. So I met the Vodafone, one of the managers. I said, you better get your act together. If you're outsourcing it, those guys don't have a clue what is going on.
Absolutely right.
There's actually a handle, I can't name that handle over here. It's called as a filthy Indian word and phone. So it starts with C.
I know,
So there's actually a handle like that by
Yeah, I
some
know.
irritated guy who started that. So now they are suddenly trying, and they don't have a clue what is going on.
But Sam, this is true for most brands and not just Vodafone, right? Airtel, I'll take it as a compliment because my friend is the digital marketing head there,
Okay.
right? And he's doing a fantastic job, I know, but they've got their own challenges,
Yes.
right? The challenges are different. Vodafone, Idea, Tata Docomo rather, is the largest Facebook fan follower page in the country.
So-called fans.
right? So-called fans. I'll give you a very simple example. If you're trying to go after fans and if you're trying to build fans on your page, go to a site called Fiverr, Fiverr, right? Pay $5. And in a matter of 24 hours, they will give you 1,000 friends. They'll give you 1,000 Twitter followers. They're all bogus IDs. There are farms, fairly large farms, which can send you likes, comments, tweets, retweets. Do you know that out of the 236 million Twitter users in the world, 50% plus are bots, right? Facebook claims to have about 1.1 billion odd users connected, of which about 2 years ago or 1.5 years ago, they actually shut down 200 million IDs, right? These are all fake. That's a big business. People turn, a very simple like into a money-making machine. Don't go that spectrum. That's not what it is about.
I don't know, I heard about this. There's an agency which is there, and they manage a large account over there. So they actually got people sitting over there, recruited them from call centers. They're sitting over there. They've got some 10, 15 Facebook IDs. They are sitting and commenting on all this stuff.
Yeah.
And the customer is thinking, wow, I'm getting so much comments. I'm getting this. When you just double click and go to that user is like born yesterday or something like that over there. And absolutely nothing is there.
It's become a sham, actually. It's become a
Absolutely.
sham, which is why this business has actually got a very, very, very bad name. Right? Most people, right? Today, it's been a struggle for us. One of the reasons why you don't hear about me or why I don't go out into the media speaking is because that's how I position myself, right? I'm one of the only top 10 agencies in the country which is not invested into by a VC. I don't have an investor. I do not have any big agency network which has bought me out. But if you take the top 20, forget top 10, right? Everybody's sold out, right? There is either a VC sitting there or there's a big agency network sitting over there. For the want of a pegging order in terms of revenues and profits, I would say I'm in the top 5, right? Or top, if not the top 3. I earn atrocious amounts of money, right? I charge obnoxious amounts of fees to my clients. I get paid because I deliver value, right? I sell about 6.5 crores worth of washing machines every year for a client, and I'm linked to his bottom line. If I sell that washing machine, I take my fee, right? Directly linked to businesses, which is what we've done. But what happens is that suddenly you will find a new business coming up, a new breed coming up, new professionals coming in and trying to change the market, And that's where problems come by. That's where challenges come by and issues which you were just speaking about. I can cite you 2 more banks, right, where similar issues have happened and we've handled that online in terms of reputation challenges. But if you look at marketing per se as and this is true for everybody, right? You guys are all entrepreneurs, you are running businesses, or you aspire to market yourself as a professional, like Aruna there, right? Or Abhijit there. I think the 2 of you should connect. So one of the big things is that the online platform today makes it possible for you to reach out. So there used to be a theory called 6 degrees of separation. Heard of this? Yep. That means in 6 calls you could reach somebody. Even if it meant you had to reach Barack Obama, you could. Right? Today, do you know where that number is today? Where 6 has come down to? 3.5. 3.5. Right? It is expected that by 2015, the number will be down to 3 degrees of separation. Right? That's how small the world is becoming. And if marketing itself is changing, I take a lot of programs. I do a lot of workshops for a lot of businesses, a lot of corporate CEOs. I also shadow create and manage a lot of CEOs' social identities, so to say. So we write their blogs, we manage their LinkedIns and their Facebooks and their Twitters, right? But all that I want to tell you is in a very quick nutshell, is in marketing the way you knew about it maybe about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, right, has completely undergone a sea change. To give you a perspective in India, if you believe the web is big, and if you believe the internet is big, let me tell you, you haven't seen anything. Mobile is revolutionary. There are 200 million people in India who are connected online. Let me give you a startling stats. 60 million of these are what we call as mobile only and mobile first. What that means is that they've never seen internet on a desktop. They have only connected to the internet on a mobile device. 60 million? You got to be joking me, right? And do you know that the biggest fad today is e-commerce sites coming up, right? That's the second.com boom, right? So we manage a lot of e-commerce clients where we do some business with them. It is so difficult today to actually explain to a client why not to take a free service, right, and to take a paid service in terms of the software. Once you get the merits explained to the client and the client takes it up, believe you me, the biggest business that is coming in, where Flipkarts of the world or Flipkarts of India and the Snapdeals of India and the Jabongs of India are minting their money, the complete onus comes from tier 2, tier 3 cities. At one point in time, Mumbai alone accounted for 80% of the internet users. Yeah. Then came a situation when Mumbai and Delhi put together accounted for 90% of the internet users. Today, the top 8 metros put together account for less than 32% of the entire internet population. They are second to towns with less than 500,000 population. They are at about 37% of the overall 200 million pie that you're looking at. In the next 2 years, it's going to be about 50% coming from those towns, and bulk of them, about 70-80%, will be mobile only. Marketing, the way you see it, is changing. And if marketing is changing, I think we, as you were speaking about, as individuals, we need to change ourselves, right? And get geared up to be presented in the right atmosphere. As businesses, right? Our businesses are no different from us as individuals. Sooner or later, you will find challenges coming up from a newbie, a new business, mushrooming out of your garage, probably next doors.
BMC ने ban किया
garage में धंधा नहीं कर सकता है.
I actually told my wife, we have a garage space, 220 square feet. I said,
we'll rent it out.
Let's have it here. Next day, BMC will be there with all hammer and tongs over there.
I think
somebody will tweet, Sam has opened a garage over there, and BMC will, see that over there, and they'll. Somebody will follow that over there, no?
Right. So don't worry, you can become Mumbai's Kejriwal, Then you can take up the onus of running the entire. I know. You should stand for Aam Aadmi Party in Mumbai when the next.
Actually, I was deciding whether it is BJP or Aam Aadmi Party.
Currently, if you go as per the trend and if you go as per sentiments, it should be the Aam Aadmi Party that you should bank on. That's a quick climb to fame, right?
But I'll have to, they say we'll have to call up to take any decision. Can I take that call? Can I do
So you'll have to go back to the constituency, or you can call us all over here again, and we'll come in and vote, right? And we'll tell you what to do.
Absolutely.
Right? We'll even help you compose your marketing strategies and plans, right? We've got brand consultants, business consultants,
Yeah,
we've
the
got
whole
image
team.
consultants.
Yeah,
You've
whole
got the
team.
entire coterie here.
Coterie
You don't need to go
over there.
anywhere.
I know.
Right?
Amit, tell us something about your family. Lots of facts and figures. People are still reeling with those facts and figures over there.
So, we're a joint family. There are about 18 of us in the family.
In the
And
same house?
In the same house, same kitchen. We have 5 families actually rolled into one. 6th is incomplete because my grandmother passed away about 10 years ago.
Okay.
So my grandfather has 3 sons. My grandfather's eldest son started his career about 36 years ago with TCS. And thereafter he went on and he founded what we call as Zaptec Computer Education.
Okay.
Then he founded BITS Computer Education, took both the companies public. Both the companies were sold off at some good valuations. He exited the education space when he sold off a venture that we had with IIT Kharagpur and IIT Delhi, which we sold off to the Punendra Chatterjee Group. We sold that off in 1999. After that, he's from being an absolute non-believer in God and astrology, he's taken up to questioning the entire science and today become a very, very, very big astrologer.
Fantastic.
And he sees it as a science. So because it's all about numbers and mathematics, so that's something that he does.
So are you planning to do something like that?
No, I'm not planning to do anything of that
No
sort.
wearing saffron robes
No,
or
no,
something
no,
and going
no,
back
no,
to
nothing
the
of
Himalayas.
that sort.
The monk who
Right.
sold his Ferrari.
I've actually had a very tough time because he's the chairman of my company
I know,
as well,
I know.
to actually dissuade him from starting an online destination where I could offer consultancy on his to install the software on a, I don't know how many of you have known this, right? Sorry?
They played the song Start Me Up.
Yeah, they played the song Start Me Up, but what happened after that was that the software crashed.
Blue screen.
Right? And the blue screen, the famous Windows blue screen came up and nothing worked. Right? And then, very red-faced and embarrassed Steve Jobs, did everything that he could for the next 45 minutes to keep the audience entertained.
Bill Gates.
Oh, Bill Gates, my apologies, Bill Gates, right? Cannot say anything against the God, right? But Bill Gates spent about 45 minutes. So that's my uncle. And my father is a government servant. He was with the Mumbai Municipal Corporation on deputation to MADA. He was on deputation to the Slum Rehabilitation Authority. So all the work that you see of the slums getting demolished in the Andheri West area till about last year were carried out by him.
You mean the office of mine which is broken in Mada also, he did that?
Yes.
I wish you had told me that.
You wouldn't have called me here then. So all these slums and the buildings that have been broken down actually were courtesy him.
Okay.
My chacha, as I very passionately call it, he's in the business of politics. So he's the secretary for Congress in Mumbai, right? And so he does whatever he does.
Okay.
I run my own business. My brother works with me. My brother looks after the mobile division.
Okay.
So all of us, of course, my fathers and uncles are married. But me and my brother are married as well. My Tauji has 2 daughters who are both married. My chacha has 2 daughters who are today studying in colleges. And as I said, I'm a 15-year-old struggler for 15 years.
Great. Amit, that was fantastic. Really good sharing, lots of numbers and figures and facts.
I can rattle more if you want.
Yeah. So, we'll come and we'll record.
Anytime.
You're full again over there.
Anytime.
So,
anytime.
Amit, thank you so much for being on
My
Jam
pleasure,
with Sam.
Thank you so much for calling me.
So, that's your microwave mug.
Yeah, so the Indian networker. Can I?
And
now the other way around. Lovely.
and bhaji bag for your wife.
You want me to open it as well?
Yeah.
You want me to carry it as well?
You carry it and go, like.
I think you would agree it won't go on this suit, right?
But generally you wear jeans.
No, that is only on that weekend
day
when I
you wore
came
that,
to meet you.
So that becomes a profile pic,
Yeah.